Warning, this is a pest control video and contains footage of animals being shot. If this is likely to offend, then please don't watch. Please see the description below for more information on this video. There's also some links you may find useful. Just got a message from the farmer to say that he's dredged the Slurry lagoon, cut back all the greenery, and he's seen a few rats around on the farmyard. Let's get the gun, go shoot some rats. So we're out on the dairy farm. This is the first time I've had the new rifle out. It's a FX Impact Mark II in silver. It's a sub 12, chambered in 2.2. On top we run the X-Sight 4K Pro 3-14, but those sharp-eyed of you will notice there's something missing at the front. I'm missing the ABL Rangefinder. I've had an absolute nightmare with this. It's ranging incorrectly, it's out by 4 yards, and it's happened since I changed the battery. ATN tell me there is no problem with this. They've never experienced a problem like this before and nobody's contacted them about it, so it's with them to get fixed. I can tell you of at least 6 people now that have had this problem. Seems to be after the 3rd battery change it loses all connectivity and it ranges incorrectly. If you've had this problem or you know someone who has, I'd really appreciate it if you would hop over to the community post, which is linked in the description, and just leave a comment on there so I can build up a picture and I can share this with ATN, and they'll either be forced to admit there is a problem, or at least I can give them information and help them out to discover the problem if they genuinely are not aware of it. Straight under the first shot, this magpie was running its mouth off, stopping other squirrels, jackdaws, magpies from landing. So he paid the price for that, took him out, quieting the place down. Him being a lookout was his lookout. You can see from the slow-mo here, that rifle and Hades combination knocked the stuffing out of him. Straight into the barns on the squirrels. Now, without the ABL, I'm not that confident with the ranges, so I'm going to play it safe here, go for lower heart and lung shot rather than the high neck, head and crop shot. Nevertheless, those Hades hit the mark and knocked that bird straight down to the floor. After that I went straight out into the yard and I ranged this one here, 25 yards, bang on my 0. Wallop. That Hades absolutely cracked his head open, knocked him down off the edge of the concrete. Nothing else there. Won't pick him up. And there he is. No mistake in that shot. Dead rat. Back inside. Now because I was a little bit uncomfortable with the ranging in the dark, I wasn't going to take the shot, but I sharp changed my mind when I saw him crap all over the tractor underneath. He hit the floor like a stone, and I'm very happy with that shot indeed. Now this one you're going to have to just take my word for the fact there's a rat there, because I noticed on playback you can't really see it, but I can see it perfectly through the scope. There's normally lights on in here. It's the cattle feed pens. There he goes. Good shot. Nice headshot looking at that tail action. Pulls himself out and the lights come on. Only a young one. There was quite a lot of younger rats here, so they're clearly going to be breeding up, and then come harvest they're going to be all over that farm. So at this point I decided I would go out and pick up the magpie that I shot that landed in the farmer's garden. So I walked across the yard, hopped over a fence and ended up knee deep, both legs in slurry. Brilliant. I hopped over to what I thought was a road with a crusty muddy surface, but it was actually a crusty muddy surface on the slurry. Climbed out, I got the bird and I just spent the rest of the night stinking of slurry. Great. Anyway, mopped myself up, got out on the main yard again. I spotted 2 heat signatures along this wall on the thermal. It was just trying to place them was the problem. Scanned around for about 5 minutes and eventually spotted him right at the end of the wall. He crept out too far
smashed the Hades into him. Helicopter tail there tells me that was a nice clean headshot. He's not getting up from that. I stayed there, see if the second one appeared, and this one jumped up on the wall from the undergrowth on the other side. Ran along to here, sat down. There's the shot. Took him down straight away, went across and recovered him. Beautiful shot it was. That last shot, I can't show you the actual rat because the Hades has come in the side of the head there, straight down the body and out the side. It's absolutely ripped through the rat, made a real mess, and YouTube were not gonna like that. So it was a hell of a shot. Those Hades are awesome pellets. I only had a couple of hours there, but in that time I got 2 ferals, 4 rats, and that magpie that was running his mouth off. Headed off home, and if any of the neighbours were watching, they must have thought I was a lunatic. Out in the garden with rubber gloves on, a pair of socks, t-shirt and pants, washing my boots and hanging them out on the line to dry. I went in the house, put my trousers through the washer, crept upstairs for a shower, and the wife was going crazy because the whole house was stinking of slurry. I just got no sympathy. The next morning, there's the boots hanging out on the line, drying out. Still soaking wet, but I'll tell you what, it makes you appreciate your own feet, that they don't really smell that bad. If you think your feet smell, go and jump in some slurry, and then you'll feel a whole lot better about yourself. So back out on the squirrels again. Now this week I'm tucking myself in amongst the trees, especially against this big tree trunk here, because I've cleared a whole patch in front of the hide. So I can not only see the squirrel feeder, but I can see the ground in front of the feeder, and that will ensure that any squirrels that come in on the ground to feed and don't use the feeder, I can get access to those as well. I've got a nice clear line of sight straight down to the ground. So that means I'm going to have to tuck myself away because I'm a lot more exposed. But luckily I've got nice trees and woodland backstop here, which is going to break the silhouette of me up, and I'm a little bit camouflaged, so let's see how we get on. It's really nice to see the songbirds on the feeder. I've started mixing nuts and wild bird seed together, probably 80% nuts, 20% bird feed, and that's drawn in the birds. They get a free feed, and it also brings a lot of activity to the feeder, draws attention to it, and it seems to be pulling the squirrels in nicely as well. It's also drawing in magpies. This one keeps hopping on the feeder, grabbing a free feed and disappearing again. It never stays there long enough for me to get a shot on it. It's winding me up. I've got the first visitor of the day. Quite a big chap. Big set of nuts on him. I know this because I saw them after I shot him. I'm just giving him a little while to settle down, straight onto the feeder, and he's feeding straight away. And because there's bird seed in there, I want to make sure he's picking up a nut so he'll be settled down for longer and be more steady before I can get a shot down. If he's picking up the bird seed, it'll only be a few seconds before his head moves and he goes to pick up something else. You see how enjoying that? There we go. You fill your belly there. You go for it. Night night. Lights out. Just smashed his brain all over the feeder. That's the first one down. That pellet hit so hard it punched his head down into his chest and bowled him over off the feeder. These seem to come along like lockdown buses. There's nothing at all generally, and then 3 of them come along fairly close together very quickly. He's trying to get his head right in there, isn't he? Just like a lad with his first girlfriend. Except the lad with his first girlfriend would probably have a happy ending. So this is the reason I cleared the greenery in front of the hide, so I can get a good line of sight straight down there. There's a lot of seed and nuts that have fallen down onto the floor because birds are flying in and out onto the feeder, knocking them out with their wings. The dirty magpies are coming in and having a little rummage and taking what they want. And of course when the squirrels are up there, they're rummaging around, taking the nuts out and dropping a lot of seeds and some peanuts down on the woodland floor. Plenty for them to eat. I'm just going to take my time. There's a little bit of twiggery or greenery in front of his face, so I need to wait until I've got a clear shot with the scope before I take the shot. I wasn't 100% certain that shot landed where I wanted it, and that was a clean kill. So I want to go out and break cover, take a look.
That's squirrel number 3. Came here at 6 o'clock, and for the first hour and a half, around 3/4, was nothing at all. I wasn't expecting to get anything. So I'm happy with that. 3 so far. I'm going to hang on a little bit longer and see if I can get something else.
And this final squirrel takes a tally to 4. I was happy with that. Good morning out. Thanks for watching.